fraternity, for the cause of Rachana Sharif, for the cause of human resource development. And today we are once again in the position to update the and the fraternity, Ayurveda fraternity, through our Center for Human Resource Development platform. It is a platform, it's an organization established after the approach developed by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Abhimanyu Kumarji. He is very keen that university should stand in the topmost institutions of nation. And in this regard, he has a lot of vision and working on various measures in regard to this. Then CHRD was also one of that. He has established a research board. He has been establishing various other institutions, an institution for the foreigners education, and moreover, various center of excellence in Panchkarma, International Center of Tourism Wellness Center. So in such conditions, various issues are there in his mind that university can flourish and can make his standing across, not only across the nation, but across the overseas as well. So in this regard, we are organizing various different type of training sessions through this platform since January 2020. After its establishment, we have been organizing seminars, workshops, online lectures, online research methodology lectures, online academia industry collaboration lectures, and lecture as well on pharmacopoeial awareness by Dr. D.C. Katot sir. So a lot of dignitaries have participated. I am very much thankful for them for sharing their esteemed knowledge with the Ayurveda fraternity through this platform. And now, for this time being, as you know very well that we are organizing and lecture series on Vyavharik Shari in the memory of our honorable, beloved Shari legend, Professor Dr. D.G. Thatte sir. He has lived for the advancement of, for the upgradation of Rachana Shari throughout his life. And in his memory, we are organizing a lecture series since from his day of fourth punyatithi and to his birth anniversary on 27th July. In this context, we are organizing fifth lecture of our online series today. And today, Professor Dr. P.T. Rajesh Desai ji is with us to deliver a lecture on clinico-anatomical aspects of Kalashari. This series is being organized in collaboration with the PG Rachana Shari Department, University College of Ayurveda. And I welcome Professor Mahendra Sharma ji, Professor Govind Sahai Shukla ji, Principal Mahendra Sharma ji, Dean Academy, and all other personalities who are present in this lecture. So now I move on to Professor P.T. Desai ji to start with his proceedings. Over to you, Professor Dr. P.T. Desai ji. You are welcome once again.
Much, sir. Thank you.
One thing is left, ma'am. Sure, your brief introduction I should have given. I would like to, because though Priti Desai ji is a very well-known personality, but a little bit of information I would like to share with all our audience present here. She is former Dean Academics, Faculty of Ayurvedic Sciences, Datta Meghe Institute of Medical Sciences, deemed to be University, Savangi, Meghe, Wardha. She did MD from from Nagpur University, MPhil Health Professional Education PhD Health Professional Education. She has a vast experience of 20 years, UG, PG. Publications, she had 52 publications in national and international peer-reviewed indexed journals. She has 5 copyrights. She has 1 patent published on 1st December 2017 on 4-pulley portable cadaver sectioning machine with sliding table. This is a great achievement in your guidance, ma'am. Guide, she is the guide and supervisor in PhD, Rachna Shari, PhD supervisor, health professional education, MD Rachna Shari guide, MPhil Health Sciences Education Guide, fellowship in Ayurveda Education Guide. She is resource person in 15 CME seminar ROTP teachers training. She is editor, associate editor, Journal of Indian Systems of Medicine, advisor, editorial board board member, Journal of Health Sciences Education, and moreover, she has earned awards as Best Teacher Award in 2009, 2010, Best Paper Award, 3 Best Paper Awards she has earned in different international, national workshops and seminars. She has received late B.G. Ghanekar Best Shari Teacher Award from AISRI Lucknow. She has received Gargi Samagya Award 2017 during National Conclave on Medical Surgical Perspectives of Ayurvedic Shari in Raipur. Bakunthi Ayush Gaurav Award, awarded by Ayush Research and Welfare Society, Lucknow. And Stree Kartritvacha Award, honored by Women Excellence Award, 8th March 2019. She has earned Best Teacher Award, Rachna Shari, at National Conference on Research in Ayurveda on 18th August by Ayurveda Teachers Association. So these are a few of your achievements, ma'am. You have a lot of other one, and you are going to have a lot of many more for your career onwards as well. And now I request you to please start with your presentation. Thank you once again. Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words of appreciation and for the introduction. Before starting with my lecture, I think I'll feel in my duty if I don't express my gratitude towards CHRD and was led by Dr. Rakesh Sharma under the visionary leadership of Vice Chancellor Dr. Abhimanyu Kumar. My heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for inviting me on this lecture series on Vyavhar Sharir. My regards to Dr. D.G. Thatte, and I think this is a very good venture which has been taken up by CHRD. The university department is very well doing it, and it is a real tribute to Dr. D.G. Thatte, who has lived his life for Rachna Shari. So I pay my tributes to Dr. D.G. Thatte, and with the blessings of the Almighty and my respected teachers, I record and also appreciate the presence of all the esteemed authorities who are present for this online lecture, the esteemed faculty members of Rachna Sharir and the PG students. I hope I'll be able to add few new things through this lecture. So to start with, I would just, my topic, as very well said by sir, is clinico-anatomical aspects of Kala Shari. So outline of my presentation will be, but just because we have to follow the flow, I'll be just dealing in brief with a few aspects of etymology, meaning and definition of color, formation of color, brief description of the Sapta colors, clinical aspects of Sapta colors, but the focus of my today's presentation will be the clinical aspects regarding the relation of Purushadhara Kala and Astidhara Kala, and Pittadhara Kala and Majjadhara Kala. So that will be a bit more, I'll be focusing on these two aspects specifically. So just to start with etymology and Nirukti, we all know all these things, but I'll just go a bird's eye view through all the presentation. It's derived from the Dhatu color with Acha Pratyaya, and these are the few Niruktis which are given in Shabdasto Mahiniti and Ayurved Shabdakosh and Amarkosh.
Ma'am, it is the slide is not moving on. It is on the first slide, showing the first slide only.
Okay, I'm moving it from here, sir. Can you see it right now? I have moved the slide.
So far, it is showing the first one. Your
Yeah,
nomenclature.
yeah, from here, but I am moving it from over here.
Mhm. Why I try to share on my behalf.
Okay, okay, so that will be fine.
Just a minute. I'm downloading
Sure.
it. Just a
Okay,
minute.
okay, fine. Shall I
Yes.
stop sharing? Sir, shall I stop sharing then?
Yeah. You have to stop sharing, and I'm sharing.
Yeah, I've stopped sharing. Okay.
Is it visible now? Visible?
No, sir.
Hmm? I have shared it.
So you can see the first one. Can you move to the next one, please, sir?
Now I am. Just a minute. Move to next one. Did you see the next one?
No, sir, no. Even I am not able to see the next
The problem. Just is also a problem.
नहीं ऑडियो वाला
Yes.
Problem, I. Oh,
एक मिनट डॉक्टर दीपक चला लिया
एक मिनट मैडम.
शुरू हो रहा है बस डाला।
नहीं, मैं बना के आपको भेज दूँ।
हाँ किसी को अटैच कर दूं क्या उसमें ग्रुप में?
हाँ सर, मुझे
किस?
मुझे कर दीजिए।
अभी बिजी वाला मैडम?
हाँ, पहला वाला तो दिख रहा है सर, फर्स्ट स्लाइड इज विजिबल।
हाँ
हाँ, अभी दिख रहा है
अभी दिख
सर,
रहा है
इट्स मूविंग।
चलिए
हाँ, इट्स
ऐसे
मूविंग सर।
एक जस्ट मिनट जस्ट मिनट। ये टेक्नोलॉजी का थोड़ी दिक्कतें हैं,
नहीं नहीं, वो रहता ही है।
मैं भी देख ही रहा हूँ उनको। एक मिनट, वापिस अगेन स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ बस। हाँ मैडम, अभी दिख रहा है ना मैडम? अभी नेक्स्ट में, हाँ अभी ठीक है मैडम? यस
जी 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 सर।
चल
So you can go to the next one.
या और नेक्स्ट वन ना?
Yeah.
यस ओके मैम।
हेलो हो गया?
यस मैम प्लीज।
हाँ
जितेंद्र जी आपका फोन बंद कर देना, जितेंद्र जी। हाँ चलो जी मैडम। हाँ मैडम, आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
बड़ी
हेलो
स्क्रीन करें।
मैडम, आप जितेंद्र जी आपका फोन बंद कर दे। जितेंद्र जी, जितेंद्र शर्मा जी, माइक ऑफ।
यस यस
मैडम प्रीति आवाज आ रही है? प्रीति जी
हाँ जी, आवाज आ रही है सर, आ रही है।
थोड़ा आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी
हेलो
वो हो रही है, आपकी
हेलो।
आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है मैम। हाँ आप आ रही है।
जी 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 सर। सो
जी हाँ अब
हाँ सर, प्लीज गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन।
नेक्स्ट वन। यस दिस वन।
Yeah. So the etymology of the color, any single part or portion of a whole, especially 16th part, digit or 1/6 of the Mohs diameter, symbolic expression for the number 16 or interest on a capital, a division of the 60th part of 1/13th of the zodiac sign, a minute or degree of a Sirius, a term for 7 substrata of the elements or datas uh, of the human body. So these are the etymologies. And so please move to the next one.
Yes.
So the primary meaning, if we just go into the syntactic meaning, that is the language wise, if we just go into the grammatical aspect of kala, as a noun, it can be said that it is which derives forward or that which counts. As a verb, it can be said that kala, kalate or kalayati, to send, through which process of sending occurs. So here kalayati is sending, and according to Rasa Yoga Sagar as depicted in the shloka, kalpayante sankhyante dhatviya sukshmate sukshmapi bhava. So it means that through which deep or micro situated dhatu can be countable, by which means anything is kept or putting down somewhere. And as described by Chakrapani Tika in the Vat Kala Kali Adhyay, Kala is said to be the guna, that is quality, which is exactly the biological active quality of one dhatu giving birth to another type, and that is termed as Kala. Next, please. Coming to the exactly as described by Sushruta, will be a brief view of the colors which are described by various acharyas. So here it is a limiting membrane which is present as Dhatva Shayantara Maryada, and here they produce and retain dhatus, and mostly they are understood by their functions. Rather than going for the structures, the functions of color are more important, and the colors are more understood by their functional aspect. And they can be compared like as the body is covered by the skin, in the same way the structures present within the skin body is externally covered by skin, whereas the structures within the body like the ashrayas or the koshtangas, they are covered by a membrane or a tuft called kala. Next, please. So this is according to Acharya Sushrut, The Ashtanga Sangrahakar, he defines the kala, how the formation of kala, like yat dhatva shayantareshu kledo avtisthate sa yatha ushmanam abhipagva snayu shleshma jarayush chena kashte eva saro dhatu rasa sheshu alpatvat kala sadhya. So the kleda which lies between the dhatu and ashayas, it undergoes pachan due to its own heat. That is the dhatu agni produced during the dhatu process, and it forms kala. And this kala, it appears like the kashta sara, that is the core of piece of wood, and it is if we just take the core of it, we will be finding the kala like in that particular structure, and it is covered by Shleshma, Snayu, and Jarayu. Next, please. The other acharyas and Sharandra also described in a similar manner as Ashtanga Sangrahakara. The moisture present in the dhatus is undergoes transformation by the heat and forms the structure kala. And also the same Sharandra has also given that it is Kashta Saravati. Next, please. Coming to Rasa Yoga Sagara, Rasa Yoga Sagar has defined kala that it is a structure through which specific location of specific dhatu can be marked, and the limiting boundaries produced by the Jala Mahabhuta. So in the Kala Vivaran Upodghat of Rasa Yoga Sagar, this is been depicted. Next, please. This is all what we know. So I'll not be focusing it on much more on this, because this is all what we all know about it. So understanding kala at a glance, it is the one which executes other functions. The main function is transporting the dhatu kleda. It's having micro appearance and non-interrupted action of kala is continuously going on. It is a limiting boundary between the dhatu and asha and separates the two from the. Next, please. So the formation of color. So this
So,
color
हाँ
Sangraha at the time of
अरे
fetal play the presence between the
अरे वो मेरे फोन
dhatu
पे लेक्चर चल रहा है, वो गड़बड़ होता है, मैंने मेरे फोन पे लगा रखा है। नमस्कार,
so
हाँ
that is the
बताएं।
Dhatavani, and it is covered with Snayu, Shlema and Charayu.
वो लेक्चर चलता है ना। हेलो, अरे मेरी सुनो, मेरी क्लास और लग रहा है अभी मैं क्लास में भी उसको कर रहा हूँ, जल्दी बोलो। हेलो, हाँ मैडम, आगे। हेलो हेलो,
Remaining part is called as hidden structure.
मैम आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है मैडम आपकी थोड़ा सा।
Hello.
हाँ आवाज थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब हो रही है। हेलो
हेलो,
हाँ 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 बोले बोले।
हेलो,
हाँ
अभी
आवाज
आ
आ रही है
रहा है?
मैडम। हाँ आ रहा अभी आपका आवाज आ रहा है।
आ रही है,
आ रही है।
sir, I'm here only. हाँ, okay.
Okay.
Next, please.
हाँ श्योर कंटिन्यू मैडम कंटिन्यू।
Sir, next slide.
ओके यस।
So according to the theory of Dhatu Poshan and Parinaman, Dhatu Rasas of the Purva Dhatu by the action of Dhatu Agni gets converted into Uttar Dhatu, and during this process of transformation, some kleda remains in the Ashaya, and this kleda being less in quantity doesn't get developed into Purva or Uttar Dhatu. It gets covered by Snayu and Jarayu and smeared with Shleshma and becomes finally the Kala. So this is about the formation of Kala. Now coming to the next one, that is, next slide please, that is the features of color. So the features of color, as it's already I've mentioned, that it is Snayu Pratichandana, then Jarayu Santata and Shleshma Veshtita. Snayu Pratichandana is covered by ligaments, and it specifically signifies the structural support. The Charayu Santata, its expansion or the continuation of the fetal covering, it signifies the barrier or selective permeability, the Upasvedananya for portion of Garbha. The Shleshma Veshtita is coated with kapha, and it signifies not only lubrication prasadana, it also facilitates the upasnehana and upasvedananya. Next, please. So these are the Saptakalas. Now, if you just look into the Acharyas, Sushrut, Vagbhata, Arandhara and Bhava Prakash, they have described the Saptakalas. Sushrut and Vagbhata, they follow the similar manner and the similar nomenclature while describing the Kala, even the orders is same. Even Bhava Prakash and Sharandhara are similar. Bhava Prakasha has only the nomenclature of the fifth Kala, that is the Purushdhara Manodhara Kala, and the seventh Shukradhara is said to be the Retudhara Kala. The nomenclature has been changed, but the meaning remains the same, or the function of those kalas remains the same. The only difference which has been observed, even Sharangdhara has said Raktadhara Kala, Rasrudhara Kala, which is acceptable with the same function. Pittadhara is said to be Agnidhara, and again the Shukradhara is also said to be Retodhara. The only difference observed is fourth Kala, Sharangdhara has quoted as Yakrut Plihodhara. Okay, next please. Now this is about what we all know and what we our students even we teach. We have also learned the same things, and this is by Dr. Ghanekar in the commentary by in Sushrush Saristana. He has presented this modern anatomical correlations. So I think I'll just move to the next slide, because all these things are described in the next slide as well. Next please. Coming to the first Kala. Next please. The Maunsadhara Kala. Hello.
Yes.
Next color, next slide, please.
Mansadhara Kala, na?
First one, Mausadhara Kala.
ये Mansa.
Slide number 16, sir. Slide number 16. Yeah.
शो हो रही है?
Thank you. Yes, sir. दिख रही है. So it is first color, the Maunsadhara Nama Yasya Maunsagathanam Sirasnayudamni Srotasam Pratanam Bhavati. So it is among the 7 kala mentioned by Acharya Sushruta, in which Sirasnayudhamni and Srotasas are seen in the form of branch. And this has been can you remove this, sir? Not, it's not visible.
I have done it by I have done it by the
Okay,
mobile.
okay,
That's
fine.
why. नहीं, please carry on.
Acha. Okay. It is present inside the muscles, and the metaphor which is used over here is the rhizome of the lotus flower, and mrunal, that is the stalk of lotus flower present in the ground. These kalas, Mausadhara Kala is related with the facial contains the gastric
आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है मैडम आपकी.
Next, please.
आवाज थोड़ी सी डिस्टर्ब हो रही है मैडम.
यहाँ हेलो.
हाँ अभी आ रही है.
आ रही है सर आवाज?
अब आ रही, अभी आ रही जी मैडम. Please carry on, madam. Please carry on. Hello. Hello. मैम एक काम करें, आप या तो बाहर आ जाएं, क्योंकि मैं आपका स्क्रीन तो मैं शेयर कर ही रहा हूं, पर आपको उसमें दिख ही रही होगी मोबाइल में. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही मैम. हेलो. हेलो. मैम आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही। हेलो। 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 हेलो मैडम, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी। हाँ डॉक्टर, साउंड नहीं आ रहा आपका। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है, ओके ओके, वही मैं कुछ समझ नहीं पाया। हाँ ठीक है, ओके। मैडम एक बार वापस जुड़ रही है, उनसे बात हुई, वो थोड़ा डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था उनका, अभी शायद रिकनेक्ट हो रही है। ऑनलाइन के कुछ प्लस पॉइंट्स भी हैं, तो कहीं कहीं थोड़ा सा कभी कभी कष्ट भी थोड़ा सा होता है। जुड़े हैं मैडम? हेलो। 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 हाँ। हेलो। हेलो।
Hello, am I audible?
या नो, नाउ यू आर ऑडिबल। यस।
Okay, okay. I think there are very issues with my
हाँ हाँ हाँ
tech.
नहीं।
So please go for the next one. Can you go for the next one, please?
I think this one hadn't completed.
Okay,
Masses
fine,
of
fine, fine. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was talking about the astrological aspect where with the Mausadhara Kala is connected, correlated with the fascias. So here the masses of connective tissue largely visible are known as fascia. Structurally, they are highly variable, but in a broad sense, collagen fibers in the fascia have a propensity to be interwoven and are presented as compact parallel orientation in the tendons and aponeurosis. And the fascia that is arranged into condensations of external muscles, they are termed as investing fascia. And the vessels which are present in the Mausadhara Kala, the functions of those vessels can be understood by this, where they are recited, the function, that is the investing fascia and the superficial deep fascia. Okay. Next, please. The Raktadhara Kala, it is the second one, and it is present inside the Mansa, within which the Shonita is present, and especially it lines the Sira, Yakrut, and Pliha. And it is as we just cut the milky plant, so the leaves, the stem of the milky plant, the milky sap, we cut it, the blood oozes out. The similar manner, the muscles are cut, the blood oozes out of it. It's just similar to the milk oozing out of the milky sap. So, next please. So Raktadhara Kala, if we just go into the histological aspect of Raktadhara Kala, the vascular tree shows three main modifications basically during its proliferation. The branches of arteries, they increase in number due to repeated divergence in both the systemic and pulmonary circulation. Among them, the capillaries, sinusoids, and small venules are jointly termed as exchange vessels. The essential function of the circulatory system, that is, exchange, is allowed through the walls between the blood and the interstitial tissue fluid. However, the blood vessels, except for the capillaries and venules, they have, as we all know, they have three concentric layers: the tunica intima, tunica media, and the tunica adventitia. The intima is the deepest layer, consisting of endothelium. Media is consisting of a muscular tissue and collagen, and whereas the adventitia is the superficial coat of the vessel, and it consists of connective tissue. Next, please. The Medodhara Kala. Medodhara Kala, it is present in the abdomen and small bones of all human beings. It's found in the long bones and rest of the bones, that is small bones, flat bones, and curved bones. And it contains the Saraktameda. It can be compared with the omentum. It is said that Sarva Bhutanam Udarastha. So Udarastha here is omentum, which is a large fold of peritoneum, and it contains the adipose tissue. It's a storehouse of fat. And in a childhood, all the bones contain Saraktameda. But when we go to the adult life, the red bone marrow gets replaced by the yellow bone marrow. And it proves the small bones contain Saraktameda and long bones contain Majja inside them. Next, please. Looking to the histological aspect of Medodhara Kala, a few adipocytes occur in the loose connective tissues in most parts of the body. And each cell consists of the peripheral rim of cytoplasm in which the nucleus is embedded, and surrounding, and these around them, a single large central globule of fat is there, which consists of glycerol esters of oleic acid, palmitic acid, and stearic acids. These are all fatty saturated fatty acids which have the role in metabolism of fat. However, they constitute the principal component of adipose tissue where they're embedded. And adipose tissue only occurs in certain regions. In particular, it is found in the subcutaneous tissue, the mesenteries, and the omentum. Again, it is divided into the visceral fat and the subcutaneous fat. Okay. Next, please. Shleshmadhara Kala. Coming to the Shleshmadhara Kala, we all know this. It is present in all joints and supporting the life functions. It retains the Shleshak Kapha, and the example which was given is just like the wheels move freely when the axle is lubricated with oil. In the similar manner, the joints are also moving freely when they are lubricated with the Shleshma, that is the Shleshak Kapha. And it can be compared with the synovial membrane lining that lines the fibrous capsules and covers the exposed osseous surfaces, intracapsular ligaments, bursas, and the tendon sheath. The secretion of synovial fluid, it forms a thin layer on the articulating bones and avoids friction, supplies nutrition to the and removes waste from the cartilaginous cells of the articular cartilage. So the structure of synovial joint is, you all know it. Purishadhara Kala, it is present in the Pakvashaya and separates mal from the food material, situated inside the alimentary canal commencing from Yakruta, and this Maladhara Kala separates mala at the Unduka. Malam vibhajate Maladhara Kala, it is said. It can be compared with the mucous membrane of the large intestine from the epithelial tissue. So this is the Pittadhara Kala. We'll be looking in details for Pittadhara and again for the Purushdhara and Pittadhara. Pittadhara, it is Chashte Pittadhara Nama, Ya Chaturvidha Vannapana, आशयत प्रचुतं pakvashaya upasthitam dharayanti. So here this kala retains the 4 kinds of food, that is ashitam, khaditam, pitam, leadham, and then this all 4 types of food are pushed out from the amashay and they stay in the pakvashay. Food which is these 4 types of food which is eaten, it undergoes, reaches the koshtha, that is the alimentary canal, and undergoes digestion in due course of time and gets absorbed there by the koshtha of the pitta. So this kala, next please. This kala is placed between the amashay and pakvashay, and it is the seat of Agni, retains food into the pakvashay, digests it, absorbs useful part and eliminates the waste part. And it can be compared with the mucous membrane of the duodenum or even of the entire small intestine also, it is said, because the main process of digestion takes place in the second part of the duodenum and absorption takes place throughout the small intestine, but most oftenly be correlated with the second part of the duodenum. So coming to the histological aspects of Purushadhara and Pittadhara, as both are forming the both are part of the GI tract, we have taken the histological aspect together. So next please. Both the Purushadhara and the Pittadhara kala, they are in continuation. So here the intestinal wall is composed of mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa or adventitia. So the mucosa is thick and vascular in the proximal intestine, but thinner and less vascular distally. So in places it is bridged by the submucosa to form circular folds, that is plica circularis, and these play an important role in the second part of the duodenum, which protrude into the lumen, and mucosal finger or leaf-like intestinal villi are there, which play a major role in the absorption. There are numerous simple tubular intestinal glands or crypts present at the basis of the villi and additional submucosal glands in the duodenum. The circular folds present sluggish the passage of intestinal content and increase the absorptive surface. Intestinal villi are highly vascular projections of the mucosal surface and they cover the intestinal mucosa. The enterocytes are also the columnar absorptive cells and they are most numerous in the small intestinal lining, and they are responsible for, the enterocytes are responsible for nutrient absorption. Next please. Then there are the interstitial glands or the crypts of lubricants. These are the tubular pit-like structures that open into the lumen for the intestinal mucosa, and they are present between the bases of villi. The secretive bioactive peptides such as gastrin, cholecystokinin, and secretin basically into the lamina propria. Here, if we just observe the structure of the duodenum, small intestine, and the large intestine, it has been modified from the duodenum to the anus to amplify the capacity to absorb water and nutrients from its lumen as it pushes its indigestible contents towards the anus. More it moves towards the anus, the more of the absorption capacity is being taken care of in the histological aspects also. So here, based on the histological study, the intestine can be discriminated by the from the small intestine by absence of villi, plica circularis, and Paneth cells. The simple columnar epithelium lines its mucosa, and the crypts of lubricant are deeper in the colon, and goblet cell becomes more deeper. And therefore, we can understand that for different actions of or different functions of GIT, it has slight changes in the microstructure, which makes the duodenum more nutrition absorptive, whereas the large intestine is more water absorption, helping in the formation of feces. And that is exactly the role of Purushadhara and the Pittadhara. So the histological aspect then of this Pittadhara and Purushadhara, they carry the, they help in the functioning of those particular kalas. Coming to the Shukradhara kala, next please. Next please. The Shukradhara kala, it is the seventh kala which pervades the entire body, entire living in all the creatures. And the simile which is used is as ghee is present in the milk and like the sugar in the sugarcane juice. In the invisible form, it is said that the Shukra Dhatu is present in the entire body and comes out at a time of copulation. The Sarvavyapiktva can be just said as that the time of ejaculation, the whole body gets fatigued and lethargic and just after the ejaculation is over, it may prove that Shukra is present throughout the body. So this can be again, but this is one more color where we need to explore more, especially in respect to Sarvavapitva. Semen supporting color, it is according to Sushruta, this has functional presence all over the body. And the Shukra term is used for estrogenic and next please. Shukra term here is for estrogenic and androgenic hormones which circulate in entire body and cannot be isolated from the body, but it can be realized through its action. Now here, though it is Sarvavapitva, we have considered here the histological aspect of the testes as said by Acharya Ghanekar. So here, next please. The exterior of the testis is having covered by outer visceral tunica vaginalis, and the septas the testes extend internally to divide the testis into 250 lobules, and each lobule has seminiferous tubules. Each tubule is again surrounded by the basal lamina, on which rests a complex stratified seminiferous epithelium containing spermatogenetic cells and supportive Sertoli cells. And these Sertoli cells and Leydig cells, they play an important role in the production of sperms. So the efferent ductules are lined by ciliated columnar epithelium, and they also contain shorter, actively endocytic, non-ciliated cells. The wall of vas deferens, which is also a part of this color, has full connective tissue externally, a muscular layer in the middle, and an internal mucosal layer. The walls of ejaculated ducts are thin. They consist of fibrous layer, which is much reduced beyond the entrance of the prostate, and a thin layer of smooth muscle fibers, and again a mucosal layer. The speciality of the Shukra Dhatu is to diffuse all over the body, but it is not perceivable at every time like other Dhatus. So I think that is to be imagined only at the time of ejaculation when it comes out of the body. So here, the endocrine hormonal view can be evaluated. Its omnipresence, it is said Sarvavapitva, I already said, it has to be more explored in the right? Then coming to the next one. So this was about the brief description, which I think we were aware of, only the histological aspect I had put over there. The clinical aspects of Kala, again, I would like to say that here I have, I'd like to emphasize more on Purishadhara Sa Eva Astidhara and Pittadhara Sa Eva Majjadhara. The clinical aspects of Kala, next please. So coming to the first, that is the pathology, that can be structural pathology and functional pathology. In the Kalas, when we talk about the structural aspect of Kalas, it is the inflammations and lesions in the membranes. You can have an example of ulcerative colitis where the mucous membrane of the colon is having many lesions over there and ulcers are formed. So that can be one aspect. And functional aspects, there are many. Most of the pathologies or the clinical aspects of the Kala are related to the functional aspects, and that can be due to the accumulation disorders, like we talk about ascites in the Udaradhara Kala, which is though not a part over here. Altered permeability can be there, and that may cause inflammation. Next, please. Coming to the Maunsadhara Kala, again, when we just see, this is again not very specifically given in the text as we have. The clinical aspect is not given, but if we just think of some different aspects, you can go through, or we can get some evidences how this Maunsadhara Kala can be there. Even these are the few which we thought that it is there. It can also be added, or something more knowledge can also be always added, because it's always Tadvit Sambhasha, and we can always gain knowledge from others also. So here, if I talk about the Maunsadhara Kala, it is said that Tvaka Maunsa Sira Snaya Vasti Sandhi Koshta Marmani at Ashto Brada Vastu. So Maunsa is also, if we just see here, Tvaka Maunsa Sira Snaya, all are said to be the Ashta Brada Vastu, and Maunsa is one of them. So Brada can be one of the site of the Maunsadhara Kala. So Brada is one of the thing where we can just correlate it as a clinical aspect. Then Shrava, Mausagata Sarvi Prakasha, Sandra Shveta Pestilus. So this is the Shrava where the oozing of is there, and it is rightly said because the Maunsadhara Kala, it holds the sera, dhamni and strotasas. So there can be the strava when it has been injured. And coming to the marmavighata lakshanas of Mausa marma, it is said that विद्वेचस्त्रम अश्रुकस्रावो मांसधावन
मैम आवाज नहीं आ रही वापस। हेलो।
शैथिल्य
हाँ,
और
हाँ,
शिथिलता, शैथिल्य or शिथिलता can be there, and because the Bausadhara Kala holds the siras and the dhamni, the sira vikaras and the dhamni shaithilya can be considered over there. So even you can think of others also. Next, please, Raktadhara Kala. So here, Raktadhara Kala, it is correlated with the endothelial cells. According to Ayurveda, it is said as Rakta Pitta can be one of the diseases where we can correlate with the Raktadhara Kala. The alterations of endothelial cells, because it is related to the endothelial lining of the vessels. It can be directly involved in the peripheral vascular disease, the heart disease, stroke, and venous thrombosis. So whichever disease, atherosclerosis and all, are related to the Raktadhara Kala, or where the endothelium is there, all the diseases can come under the Raktadhara Kala. Coming to the Medodhara Kala, there are two aspects. It is Udarastha Med and one is the Sarakta Med. So when we talk about the Udarastha Med, that is the visceral fats of the subcutaneous fat. So you can think of Staulya, where there is an additional deposition of the fats. So Staulya can be one aspect where we can think of the application of Medodhara Kala, and Anuvasthi, where the Sarakta Med in the smaller bones it is present. So here, even where the smaller bones are involved, that is like Vata Rakta. You can even think of that where the smaller bones are getting involved. So that is Medodhara Kala can be thought of. Shleshmadhara Kala, as we all know, all the Sandhikat Vatas and all Sandhi Vikaras can be considered under the Shleshmadhara Kala. And these are the, here we find many patients, and I think only the Shleshmadhara is one of the Kala where it has been taken care of while the treatment part or even in the diagnosis part. Rest of the kalas are not taken into consideration as an like we take the strotasas, we take the strotas parikshan is done, or we think of the strotasas while diagnosis or while treatment. I think only the Shleshmadhara Kala and at some point of time the Pittadhara Kala is taken into consideration. So next is Purishadhara Kala. Purishadhara Kala, because it is the formation of Sara, Malavashtamba, and if we just go into the structural aspect of this, I said that where the inflammation is there, ulcerative colitis is one of the aspects where the Purishadhara Kala is structurally there is an deterioration of the mucous membrane of the large intestine. So ulcerative colitis, the many patients where we can see the involvement of Purishadhara Kala is there. Next is the Pittadhara Kala. This is again most important because here we find many diseases in today's lifestyle. I think this is the Kala which can be more focused, and again, therefore, I'm going to just say something about in the next slides also. So, Grahadi is one of the major diseases. Then, if we take it to the modern aspects, again, Agnimanda and all can be taken into the aspects of Pittadhara Kala. Then, duodenal ulcers, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel disease can be the diseases of Pittadhara Kala. Again, Shukradhara Kala, it is, I said, still I have not found the things, but I got this one reference where it is said that Shukra Marge Shonitanu Praveshaha is being said over there. So here you can just say that here Shayamapi Chopagachanti. So if we think that the Shukra is present all over the body, when we can think the Kshaya factor of it, it can be Rajek Shama can be thought of. Even I am not sure about the Shukradhara Kala or the diseases of the where the male reproductive system or formation of sperms is there. So even that can be taken into consideration. So this is it was just effort to correlate the Vyadhis or the clinical aspects of that. My focus is Purishadhara Kala, Sayavastidhara Kala, the relation, because this is the thing where we need to think today in cases of diagnosis and treatment. So the conceptual relation, first we will go for the Purishadhara, Sayavastidhara Kala. The conceptual correlation, I think this is, we are aware about this. As an anatomical entity, if we consider the Asthidhara Kala, it is the endosteum because it can separates the bony tissue from the medullary cavity. Some people they say that it is periosteum, but periosteum, if we consider periosteum, so the definition Dhattvashayantar Maryada cannot be applicable over there. Whereas endosteum, because it is separating the Asti Dhatu from the medullary cavity, that medullary cavity can be considered as the Ashaya. So we think of endosteum. And chronologically, Asti Dhatu is the fifth Dhatu and Purishadhara Kala is fifth Kala. And as per this description is given in the Kalpasthana by Acharya Sushruta, and while explaining the Vishwavegas, and he has explained the 7 Vishwavegas entering into the 7 Kalas. While going, if we just look into the literature of these Vishwavegas, in the fifth Vishavega, the Parva Bheda is one of the Lakshana. And Parva here, it means small bones. So here, if we just consider that particular Lakshan of the Purishadhara Kala, where the Vishavega enters into the fifth Kala, so here, the fifth stage of Purishadhara Kala, it exhibits symptoms related with the Asti Dhatu, like Parva Bheda. Then, again, Pakvasha and Asti. Purishadhara Kala, the main site of Purishadhara Kala is said to be the Pakvashaya. So Pakvashaya and Asti, both are the important sites of Vata dosha. Okay, there is an Ashraya bhav between Vata dosha and Asti dhatu also. So both Pakvasha and Asti are also Prithvi Mahabhuta predominant. And so if there's a pathology in one part of the body, it can affect the another. So if Pakvasha is affected, even the Asti dhatus can be affected. And we have evidences for it. Even the modern people today are talking about it. But our acharyas, they have established this concept centuries ago. So it is a very important thing for all of us. Then coming to the disease factor, if you think about the Fakka Vyadhi, a Vyadhi which is described in, next please. Fakka Vyadhi is a Vyadhi which is described in Kashyap Samhita. Here, the patient has a slow and sluggish movements like that of a snail. And in the Fakka Roga, the musculoskeletal system is affected. So here, in this Fakka Roga, though the patient takes appropriate diet, but due to the weak digestion, the food he eats is not assimilated, and therefore it passes in greater quantities mixed with water in the form of stools. So Atisara is there, and the proper formation of stools are not there. And finally, the manifestation is into the asthis, the musculoskeletal system, and that produces the Vakaroga. So we can even here establish the relation between the Asthidhara and the Purishadhara. Then Dantodbhav is one of the things which we always experience in the kids during the first eruption of teeth at 6 months. So that time, loss of appetite, frequency of passing stools is increased, so diarrhea is there. So it said that cause there is irritation in the gums, they eat the things and that causes diarrhea. But there is some relation between the Asti and Asti Dhatu and the Dantodbhav and the diarrhea. So here, the large intestine, it is the part which is affected due to Dantodbhav. Next, please. Then coming to the karmas, Vasti karma is one of the most important aspect and it is said to be the Ardha Chikitsa. Specifically, this Vasti Chikitsa is used in Vata Vyadhis and mostly in Asti Vikaras also. So here, if you think of Vasti, it is the rectal route of administration is there, which exactly goes to the Pakvasha, which is the site for the Purushadhara Kala. And therefore, we can again correlate the route of administration which is going to the Pakvasha, and it is directly acting or curing the Asti Vikaras or the Vata Vikaras. And again, Vata is again the seat of Vata is said to be Asti Dhatu. Even in the Asti Pradoshas Vikara, like Astikshaya, Asti Vidradi and Katishula, there is Panchatikta Kshiravasti is said to be giving the best results. So Here, the Kshir and Grita, which are snigdha in nature, are advised to be used with the substances which are pikta and they possess the Shoshan property. So here, the Kshira and the Grita, they have this, and again they gave Kharatva to the Asti also. So this Panchatikta Grit, they just establish or they just restore the Astis to its own uh, nature. So Panchatikta Grita Basti, again Basti is again the route of administration through the rectal route, which goes to the Pakvashaya. Okay. Next, please. Now coming to the modern aspect of this, here, if we look into the recent studies, we'll find that several gastrointestinal disorders have been associated with osteoporosis, including inflammatory bowel disease and celiac disease. For this presentation, when I was going through the literature of this, I found number of articles which were related to uh, the aspect which had an evidence for Purushdhara Sarvastidhara Kala. So inflammatory bowel disease related, the nutritional deficiencies have been implicated as other pathogenic mechanisms resulting in low bone mineral density. And when we talk about the Astidhara Kala or the functions of Asti, calcium is required for the normal growth and development of the skeleton. Calcium deficiency as a result of either low intake or mostly poor intestinal absorption has also been reported in Crohn's disease, which is one of the diseases of the GI tract. So vitamin D deficiency is there. It has been reported more frequently in patients with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. So several reasons have been suggested for lower vitamin D status with inflammatory bowel disease. So again, here we can find that uh, the role of Purushodhara Kala is there. Vitamin K. Vitamin K deficiency is also might be involved in inflammatory bowel disease associated osteopenia. These are the results of the studies. These are the conclusions of the studies. And vitamin K, we all know that it is synthesized in the large intestine. That is the Purushodhara Kala.
मैम आवाज वापस आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी? आवाज डिस्कनेक्ट हो रही है मैम वापस. हेलो. हेलो. हेलो.
डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए सर मैम.
Hello.
हाँ लगाना है. हाँ हाँ
Hello.
अभी आगे मैडम आगे आ रही आवाज. अब आ रही आवाज मैडम आपकी.
Can I have the next one, sir?
Yeah.
So there are studies that the persons with IBS are prone for osteoporosis and osteoporotic fractures, ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative colitis is an idiopathic form of acute and chronic ulcerative inflammatory colitis, which classically begins in the rectum and continually extends upwards into the sigmoid colon, descending colon, transverse colon. Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
audible?
Now I,
Okay.
yeah.
So here, the ulcerative colitis, it begins in the rectum and it continues and extends upwards into the sigmoid colon, descending colon, transverse colon, and sometimes may also involve the entire colon. And this is the specific, very few structural deformities are related in context of color, but ulcerative colitis is one such disease where we can exactly find the structural deformity or structural pathology in ulcerative colitis. So it occurs in the mucosal layer of large intestine, and then we say that Purushodhara Kala is involved. And the statistics of also showed that such cases are more likely to get osteoporosis and osteopenia. If we are really interested, you can just go back and look into. There are a number of articles which share these things. So please, next, please. So correlation of Purusha Kala with the calcium sodium ion channels containing this again plays an important role. Calcium sodium ion channels, these in the gastrointestinal smooth muscle fibers, these channels are responsible for the action potentials, and they allow especially large number of calcium ions to enter along with the small numbers of sodium ions, and therefore they are called as calcium sodium channels. These channels, they are much slower to open and close, and then the rapid sodium channels, the calcium channels, are much slower as compared to that of the sodium channels. The movement of the large amount of calcium ions to the interior of the muscle fiber during the action potential plays a special role in causing the intestinal muscle fibers to contract. This is important. So here, the entry of or the movement of calcium ions is related to the intestinal muscle, contraction of the intestinal muscle fibers. Again, if we think of calcium, it is calcium is a parthiv dravya, and asti is also parthiv. So we can also think about that correlation. And this calcium channel, as there are calcium sodium ion channels necessary for motor functioning of the intestine, these channels test the dharana of asti dhatu for appropriate time. So this lay can be correlated to the Asthidhara Kala of the Pakvashaya. So this is about the Purishadhara Kala, Saeva Asthidhara Kala. There, if you just go into different aspects where we have some studies, we can get more evidences related to this Purishadhara Kala and Asthidhara Kala. It has been proved, and even in rickets also we can think of these things. Next is the Pittadhara Saeva Majjadhara Kala. So Pittadhara Saeva Majjadhara, it is the sixth. Pittadhara is sixth and Majja or Dhatu is also sixth. Coming to the formation of Majja Dhatu, the Meta Dhatu is being converted into Mastulunga, and Mastulunga is present inside the flat bones of the skull. The Majjadhara Kala is concerned with Majja Dhatu. Dalhana in his commentary describes about Mastulunga as Dhritakara and Mastishka Majja. So he further described that Mastishka Majja as Majjadhara Kala, and again says that Majjadhara Kala and Pitta as Pittadhara Kala are one and the same. Now we can have some examples here, like if we take the Pakshaghata. So in Pakshaghata, in Pittadhara Kala Vikruti, Virechan is the best Shodhan Chikitsa. As Majjadhara Kala and Pittadhara Kala, we say Virechan. It is said that though Basti, it is said to be a Vata Vyadhi, and Basti can also be recommended, but there are studies which say that Virechan is to be performed. It acts well in Majjadhara Kala Vikruti, so in Pakshaghate to Virechana. So Virechan is practiced, and Virechana, it is related to the Pitta Dhatu, and it is related directly to the Pittadhara Kala. Then in the Brahma Chikitsa, Brahma, that is vertigo, which is again the symptom of the Majjadhara Kala or the nervous system. The Sutta Rasa is set in Rasa Yoga Sagar. It is said that Sutta Rasa have action on in Brahma Chikitsa. It is prescribed in Brahma Chikitsa. However, what we know is that Sutta is mainly given in the action on the Pittadhara Kala. But if Sutta is recommended in Brahma Chikitsa, we can also think that it is having a role in Pittadhara Kala and the Majjadhara Kala the same. So next is Murcha. Murcha is again one of the complication of Mastishka, which is a disease of Majjadhara Kala. In Sushruta Sahita, 6 types of Murchas are given. And they have said that there is important role of Pitta dosha in these Murchas. And here this also proves that Pittadhara and Majjadhara are related. When we come to next, please. This is some examples where we practice into Ayurveda. There might be more. The clinicians who are prescribing, they can add more to this. But what we daily observe, even a layman can observe this, and we observe that number of times we experience that anxiety is linked with GI problems and vice versa. Like just feeling nauseated before giving a presentation, or feeling intestinal pain during times of stress, or even most of the times we talk about the gut feeling. So gut feeling is one of the things which is related to what we feel. Something says, and that we talk about the gut feeling and all. So all these things, they somewhere shows that the gastrointestinal tract is sensitive to emotion, anger, anxiety, sadness, elation. Even if we talk about the Atisar also, Bhayash Atisar is there. So that is nothing but just have the relation of GI tract and the nervous system. Because bhai we can relate it, it is the emotion. Okay. And here now this is the most important one where now the world is looking towards it, and there are number of things which says that gut contains the second brain. Our acharyas have established these things many years ago, and now there are number of studies. There are so many studies which are going on for this particular aspect where they say that gut is the second brain. So here the enteric nervous system, ENS, they say we know ANS and PNS, but ENS is another one which lies the gut, and it contains 100 million neurons and is called as the second brain. And this is one of the most important finding that which was we came across while reading the articles regarding this. 95% of the body's serotonin is made in the bowel. Serotonin is it's a neurotransmitter in the regulation of mood, appetite, and sleep. So this sentence, though it's small, it conveys a lot of meaning to us, that how these emotions are being controlled. The enteric nervous, previous one, the enteric nervous system consists of, please go to the previous one, sir. The enteric nervous system, it consists of sensory neurons for detection of food substance, detection of tension in the gut, which indicates bulk of food. Then motor neurons, which controls activity of the digestive glands, that is secretion and contraction of smooth muscles. And neurotransmitter, it consists of acetylcholine and the GABA, that is the, the aminobutyric acid, which plays an important role in anxiety also. So these are the neurotransmitters. Then come next, please, ganglion of the ENS. The neurons of ENS, come to the next slide. Ganglions, they have into two types of ganglions, and they are related to the mesenteric plexus and the Mesenteric plexus. We all know this mesenteric plexus and Mesenteric plexus are present in the intestines, and inner and outer muscularis, and it's longitudinal chains of neuron. When stimulated, it increases the tone of the gut and the velocity and intensity of contraction, and it is concerned with the motility through the whole gut. Inhibition of the system, it helps to relax the sphincters, and the Mesenteric plexus or the submucosal plexus is more involved in local. So and how this regulation of ENS function is there. The parasympathetic, next please, next slide please. The parasympathetic nervous system is able to stimulate the enteric nerves in order to increase the enteric function. It is the parasympathetic enteric neurons function in defecation and provide a rich nerve supply to the sigmoid colon, rectum, and MS. And even the stimulation of enteric nerve, the sympathetic nervous, inhibits the enteric capabilities. The neurotransmitter secretion and direct inhibition of enteric plexus causes stalling the functions. And it is said that if the gut is irritated or distended, afferent nerve will send signals to the medulla of the brain for further processing. Next, please. So here again, there is a gut-brain axis, which also plays an important role. It is a bidirectional communication between the CNS and ENS. It is a bidirectional communication between the CNS and the ENS in the gut-brain axis, with linking of emotional and cognitive centers of brain with intestinal functions. There is linking of brain to gut microbiota and to the brain, and vice versa. That is gut-brain axis by means of neural, endocrine, immune, and humoral aspect. So this communication is bidirectional, enabling the brain to influence gastrointestinal functions such as motility, secretion, and mucin production, as well as the immune factors. Next, please. Next one. And I hope this is the last slide, I think. The several gastrointestinal, next, please.
Yeah, just a minute. Yes, please.
The several gastrointestinal conditions are positively correlated with the stress factor, that is irritable bowel syndrome and ulcerative colitis. Particularly, the chronic stress factors aggravate the secretion of inflammatory mediator communication chemicals, which are recognized by the enteric nervous system. Conversely, the condition of digestive system and their function can affect one's mood. Even in constipation, there is a stagnant in the gut and gut gas bloating, which leads to feeling of depression and unhappiness. So it is proof that the irritability of the emotions are because of the poorly digested food or junk or even of the junk. So this proves the relation between the Pittadhara Kala and the Majjadhara Kala. So this is how this was a brief view of the Pittadhara and the Majjadhara.
प्रोग्राम चल रहा है वो उनके मोबाइल पे चल रहा है इसलिए उठा नहीं इस नंबर पर फोन कर
So Pittadhara and Majjadhara are related over here. So my aim for this lecture was to just give a small insight. It might be just a clue for thinking onto this aspect. So the next slide, please, sir. So
दिस वन ना या
next one, the take-home message. So here, what I feel is more exploration is required in this aspect, and we need to make the Kala Sharir more evidence-based. So just focusing into our concepts, experiences are to be converted into scientific experiments. It is the need of the time that we need to take clinical trials, or we have to conduct the clinical studies where we can validate the concepts of these kalas through research, through having clinical trials, and just going for the experiment, scientific experiments. And specifically, after conducting all these things, there needs to be generalization of the outcomes to the publications. So that is more important, where we will feel that, and our next generation will feel that exactly what was taught by our acharyas, or what are the concepts of acharyas. Like we were talking about, now it is in these last decade, it is said that the gut is said to be the second brain. But our acharyas centuries ago have said that Pittadhara Kala, Swayam Majjadhara Kala. So finally, this is the only request, that we shall all conduct and join our hands together in conducting the researches for validation of our own concepts of Rachna Sharit. And in the obviously, it should be in the outcome should be based on the modern scientific parameters. Though we have high regards for our own science, if we want that the world should know it, we have to just convey the things in their language. So it has to be in the form of our concept, have to be validated in their things, or where we can have their parameters for studying. So all these things can be validated. So this is all from my side. Thank you for the patient listening. I think, and I'm very sorry for the inconvenience which was caused due to some technical issues, but I finally think that this is not in our hands. So these are the references. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू मैडम जस्ट अ मिनट
And sorry for learning. So sorry for taking an extra time. I think that was due to some technical issues.
नो इशू मैडम जस्ट अ मिनट कहाँ से डिटैच होगा मैम आई able to listen to me
Yeah.
yeah just a minute how I get rid of it actually I have been presenting through my mobile no
Yeah, no issues, sir.
I think now it should be okay yes am I audible hello hello
Yes,
I am
sir.
audible
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Sir, actually, what happened due to some technical issues, earlier I have shared my, not mine, even the ma'am's presentation. First, I shared it by my PC, but it was not moving on actually exactly. So that's why I have to shift it to my mobile one. And in mobile, I wasn't much aware in such condition, but as it is, but whatever I could do, I did it, and the program ultimately could be successful. So actually, this is an issue of IT concern, and though all of us are somewhere a little bit lacking in the technical knowledge, but somehow we could manage it as this. Ultimately, eventually, the session could be conducted. That was a success. Thank you very much, ma'am. You have given us a new vision, a new dimension in the context of Kala Sharir, how to understand these things, how to correlate by the concept of the applied aspects, various applied aspects, whether it is the pathological aspect, whether it was the clinical interpretation aspect, and you have given a take-home message, whatever you have tried to explain. So I think this is a bilkul a different scenario that we can correlate with the Kala Sharir to understand. Kala Sharir is a very vast subject. It's a very different subject, and in as far as modern science is concerned, they just speak of membranes, four membranes, but they don't take it as a subject, different subject, as a different chapter. In Ayurveda, whereas Ayurveda, some specific chapters are there, whether it is Srota Sharir, whether it is Kala Sharir, whether it is Marma Sharir. All these are the specifications of Ayurveda. In such conditions, Kala Sharir, it has been a very miserable, it's been mysterious earlier, and you have gone through it very clearly and in a very simple way. I'm so much thankful to you, Manu. You have spared so much of time for this lecture. I would like to request somebody having any queries in this regard. If you are having, ma'am, some time, can we have some queries from students, from the audience? Hello? Hello? Are you able to listen to me, ma'am? Hello? Hello? I think she is not with us. Actually, she is there. She is there. Ma'am Preeti ji, can you listen to me? I think she is having problems. So, it's okay. Should we move ahead now? Questions answer. If anybody is having questions, you can mail me, and I mail or WhatsApp me, and I will share it to ma'am, and we will get rectified. We get your doubts to be cleared and shared to you as well. So, with this, I now request our collaborative partner, Professor Mahendra Sharma ji, from PG Department, Rachna Sharir, and the Dean of the Academic PG and actually Rachna Sharir Department. If he is there, he should come on and please say some papers in this regard. Mahendra ji.
हेलो हाँ हेलो आवाज आ रही हेलो
हाँ बिल्कुल आ रही है
जी आज के इस वेबिनार कार्यक्रम में कला शरीर के परिप्रेक्ष्य में मैडम का बहुत सारगर्भित व्याख्यान हमको मिला। आधुनिक परिप्रेक्ष्य में कला को किस तरह समझा जाए, उनके हर पहलू पर उन्होंने अपना एक बहुत सारगर्भित व्याख्यान दिया। कला के शब्द के 3 अर्थ हमारे शास्त्रों में ग्रहण किए गए, जैसा हम लोग कहते हैं कि धात्वाशांतर मर्यादा कला। दूसरा हमारे यहाँ कहा है कि षोडश कला पुरुष भी कहा गया, कि षोडश कला युक्त पुरुष भी हमारे सुश्रुत ने कहा गया। और तीसरा उनका षोडश गुण युक्त भी कला होती है। तो कला के 3 भेद, एक तो झिल्ली के रूप मेम्ब्रेन के रूप में मानते हैं वो कला है, दूसरा जो है विविध घटकों के रूप में जो पार्ट्स ऑफ बॉडी के रूप में माना गया, और तीसरा क्वालिटी गुणों के रूप में माना गया। तो आज का जो विस्तृत व्याख्यान में हम देखें, मैडम ने जो आधुनिक रूप में जो कला को व्याख्यांकित किया, वो इन तीनों परिप्रेक्ष्य को व्याख्यांकित करता है। इसके लिए मैं मैडम का पुनः विभाग की ओर से धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता हूँ, और आप सभी का धन्यवाद।
जी जी जी, बहुत धन्यवाद सर। आज अब हम कंक्लूडिंग सेशंस की ओर हैं। 1 मिनट, शायद प्रीति देसाई मैडम उनका फोन आ रहा है। 1 मिनट, उनको मैम को फर्स्ट फोन लगाया था, एक बार मेरी बात करवाना उसमें। तो आज का अब हम कंक्लूडिंग सेशन की ओर ही बढ़ रहे हैं। 1 मिनट, प्रीति देसाई मैडम को फोन आ रहा था, मैं देखूं क्या कह रही हैं, शायद उनका क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। शायद कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं फोन को, शायद उनको फोन लग नहीं पा रहा है। तो आज के सेशन में हमारे साथ में 1 मिनट। हाँ मैडम, हाँ अच्छा, चलिए चलिए, नहीं बस यही था, मैंने कहा चलिए कोई बात नहीं, नहीं हो पा रहा तो कोई बात नहीं, आपकी मीटिंग भी है तो चलिए हम आपको इसी में फॉलो अप कर देते हैं। अगर जुड़ पाते तो थोड़ा सा ये था कि हम आपका आभार प्रदर्शन कर देते इसके माध्यम से। चलिए कोई, चलिए कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, चलिए ठीक ठीक, ओके, ठीक है सर। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं अभी मैं बिल्कुल 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 सर सर। हाँ, उनका मैम का फोन कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा है। मैं आई एम ऑडिबल, मेरी आवाज आ रही है? एम आई ऑडिबल सर? आवाज आ रही है
हाँ, आ रही है आकाश
मेरी? जी जी।
हाँ,
तो अभी मैडम से बात हो गई, मैडम शायद कह रही है कि उनके वो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है कनेक्टिविटी में, तो शायद कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। चलिए, उनका हो तो गया ही है। तो मैं आज हमारे बीच में जो उपस्थित रहे महानुभाव, उन सबका बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूँ। हमारे बीच में प्रोफेसर अविनाश जी, जो हमारे जो है बहुत ही बड़े हितैषी हैं, शुभचिंतक हैं, बहुत साइंस के प्रति बहुत डिवोटेड हैं। आप SCPM आयुर्वेद कॉलेज गोंडा में प्रिंसिपल के रूप में कार्य कर रहे हैं। आपका निरंतर हमें सानिध्य मिलता है, बहुत अच्छा लगता है। हमारे बीच में एक मैंने देखा संदीप माथुकर लहंगे हैं, जो NIA में एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हैं, वो भी लगातार हमारे कंटेक्ट से जुड़े हुए हैं। कंठी जी, कंठी सर तो हमारे जो है अग्रज हैं, उनका जो स्नेह और आशीर्वाद हमें रेगुलर मिल रहा है, और ये हमारे लिए कार्यक्रम की सफलता का सूचक रहता है अगर कंठी सर हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। ऐसा एक विद्वान व्यक्ति हमारे साथ में कनेक्शन में है, तो हम समझते हैं कि हम जो है इस कार्यक्रम को सफल मान सकते हैं। ये सफलता का पैमाना हो सकता है। और सर, मैडम अभी जो है कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रही थी, मैडम ने भी आपको देख लिया था, उन्होंने भी आपको रिगार्ड्स दिए हैं, क्योंकि वो कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहे थे, बट शी हैड सीन यू, तो उनको लगा कि मैं सर से बात नहीं कर पाई, तो शी हैड कन्वेड ऑल द रिगार्ड्स टू यू, एंड इन फैक्ट to all the dignitaries who were present here, she has conveyed her regards to all of them. तो इसके साथ ही हमारे बीच में जुड़े हुए थे
राकेश जी,
हाँ
दिनकर सर जुड़े हुए हैं।
सर हैं क्या?
देखो आप,
जी,
देखो
जी।
एक बार मुझे लगा बीच में एक बार
दिनकर सर जुड़े हुए हैं। सर दिनकर सर हमारे बीच में, प्रोफेसर दिनकर सर भी जुड़े हुए हैं NIA से, हमारे पूर्व NIA PG डिपार्टमेंट NIA के अध्यक्ष हैं, हमारे गुरुवर रहे हैं। सर आप जुड़े हुए हैं क्या प्रोफेसर दिनकर जी? प्रोफेसर M दिनकर शर्मा सर? शायद अभी हो सकता है वो
डिस्कनेक्ट हो
सकता डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया, हो सकता है। हो सकता है, मैं एक्चुअली इससे जुड़ा हुआ था तो मैं उसको देख नहीं पाया, उसमें मैं लगातार
हाँ
program conduct-
मैंने एक बार
जी,
देखा
जी।
था इसलिए।
हाँ,
कंठी
चलो
सर है
हमारा,
आपके साथ।
हाँ बिल्कुल, कंठी सर तो है ही है।
कंठी सर तो
मैं
है
एक बार
आपके पास।
हाँ बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
ओके
मैं एक,
ओके।
आप सर, आपका आशीर्वाद मिलना, आपका आशीर्वाद है सर, दो शब्द
या
हमारे कार्यक्रम के लिए आप बिल्कुल
ओके, वेरी
बताएं
नाइस।
सर।
ओके।
जी सर, जी। तो हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए आसाम गवर्नमेंट आयुर्वेद कॉलेज आसाम से टिकेंद्रजीत सिंह जुड़े हुए हैं, वहाँ प्रोफेसर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पीजी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रचना शारीर में। डॉक्टर अलका त्यागी हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं। डॉक्टर सचिन खेड़ीकर हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए थे, सूरत से प्रिंसिपल हैं सूरत आयुर्वेद कॉलेज में। स्वाति भिंगारे लास्ट ईयर हमारा जो प्रोफेसर डीजे थते एसोसिएट कंपटीशन है उसकी टॉप 3 में कंटेस्ट विनर रही हैं, वो हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई थी। प्रोफेसर जितेंद्र शर्मा उदयपुर से रचना शारीर आयुर्वेद कॉलेज उदयपुर से रचना शारीर डिपार्टमेंट के हेड हैं, वो जुड़े हुए थे। प्रोफेसर अभिजीत जी पाटिल RKDF कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल हैं, आयुर्वेद कॉलेज RKDF यूनिवर्सिटी के अंतर्गत जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट कॉलेज आयुर्वेद कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल वो जुड़े हुए थे भोपाल से। प्रोफेसर नीलेश कोड़े गोवा से जुड़े हुए हैं, ये भी हमें, सब लोग हमें रेगुलर सानिध्य प्रदान करते हैं, हम इनके बहुत बहुत आभारी हैं। प्रोफेसर प्रहलाद रघु हमारे बहुत ही प्रिय अनुज हैं, हमारे साथ में NIA से किया, वो भी लगातार हमारे कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित होते हैं। मैं बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ इन सब का कि ये लोग अपना इस कार्यक्रम में अपना समय स्पेयर करते हैं, ये उनका हमारे प्रति जो स्नेह भाव है उसको दिखाते हैं। मैं बहुत बहुत हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। और मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ हरी सिंघल जी, जो हमारे IT इंचार्ज हैं यूनिवर्सिटी में, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स में हैं, और उनकी पूरी टीम का IT का जो उनका पूरा सहयोग रहता है हर तरह से, इसका रिकॉर्डिंग करना, प्रोग्राम को शुरू करना, लास्ट मोमेंट तक मैनेज करना, फिर पूरा उसको कर्टेल करके एक्चुअली अपडेट करके उसको फिर यूट्यूब चैनल के ऊपर अपलोड करना बहुत बड़ा काम है, और मैं उनको भी बहुत बहुत करता हूँ। और सर्वोपरि सबसे पहले मैं आभार जो है सर्वप्रथम जो है वो हमारा माननीय कुलपति महोदय का, कि जो है उनके मार्गदर्शन में हमें ये जो है जो प्रेरणा मिल रही है, प्रोत्साहन मिल रहा है कि हम ऐसे कार्यक्रम करते रहें और निरंतर हमारा उत्साहवर्धन करते रहते हैं। तो बहुत बहुत आभार आपका, आप हमें ऐसे जो है कार्यक्रम करने के लिए आयोजित करते हैं, प्रोत्साहित करते हैं। और साथ ही मैं आभार प्रदर्शन करूंगा हमारे जो है हमारी जो ऑडियंस जो उपलब्ध थी जो कार्यक्रम में, उन सबका बहुत बहुत आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। PG स्कॉलर्स अक्रॉस द नेशन और जो भी फैकल्टी जिनको मैं नहीं पहचानता हूँ या नहीं पहचान पा रहा हूँ, उन सबका बहुत 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 आभार कि वो लोग, उनके कारण ही कार्यक्रम संभव हो रहा है, सफल हो पा रहा है। बहुत बहुत आभार। और अब मैं आमंत्रित करता हूँ, यदि कोई आदमी हमारे बीच में हमारे सचिव जो बैठे हैं जो अपना पक्ष रखना चाहें, उनका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, जो भी इस कार्यक्रम में भी उपलब्ध है। अगर कोई अपना विचार रखना चाहें तो उनका स्वागत। डॉक्टर टिकेंद्र जी, आप अवेलेबल हैं?
हेलो।
डॉक्टर टिकेंद्र, हाँ टिकेंद्र जी।
हाँ सर, गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
हाँ, गुड आफ्टरनून सर। सो काइंड ऑफ यू सर। सर आपके कुछ, आपका उद्बोधन सानिध्य मिले हमें, अच्छा लगेगा सर।
हाँ सर, actually audio is here not clear sir. So sometimes I am hearing, sometimes again missing sir.
but whatever you have actually today we had some problem actually audio. Actually, I think in Corona period the net has to bear a lot, and the setbacks somewhere it gives some setbacks to some institutions in this type, but overall we could manage it, and so whatsoever it is, but ultimately we could manage it.
Sir,
Yes,
it's nice sir. Something I am sharing sir. Definitely
it
nice.
is nice.
Yes sir, regarding interpretation of the color. But some person again sir, I am not properly regarding the अस्ति ठाडा color interpretation all like that. one, two line, continuously increasing. Anyways,
Actually,
yes.
I would like to clear that all this all the lectures whatever we are organizing are being uploaded regularly on the YouTube channel of university, and I will share the link to you, and
Yes.
you can listen these lectures again and again whenever you have free time, and that is our initiative that if somebody is having or somebody who cannot attend the program due to some reasons, he can listen to this program through later recording as well. That's why that is what we are organizing. So nice of you, sir. You are with us regularly. I'm very much thankful to you, and we are having the personality from Northeast as well. It gives us a very moral.
Yes. Okay, sir. Next time I will be.
Dr. Dilip Goswami ji also is a regular visitor of this. He is also regularly present in our program. I also like to thank his cooperation. Okay, sir. Anybody else, sir? Dr. Avinash. Dr. Avinash Srivastava is there.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
हेलो
Hello, sir.
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर.
Sir, Dinakar sir is there, sir.
नहीं डिस्कशन.
Sir,
हेलो.
Okay,
या
sir.
तो I will contact you. I will contact you telephonic. है ना सर?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Bye.
Okay. I am not listening properly. Dr. Avinash is there? Dr. Avinash ji.
हेलो
Yes.
नमस्कार.
हाँ सर नमस्कार सर. सर आपका सानिध्य मिलता है सर. आपके दो शब्द हमें जरूरी हैं. बिल्कुल.
हाँ जरूर.
आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है सर. आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है. हेलो.
आवाज आ रही मेरी?
अब आ रही है सर. अब आ रही है.
हेलो आवाज. हाँ
हाँ.
डॉक्टर साहब बहुत
आवाज.
नमस्कार. हमारे जो रेस्पेक्टेड स्पीकर हैं मैडम प्रणाम. अगर
आवाज डिस्टर्ब हो रही है सर. हेलो.
हाँ नेटवर्क की बहुत प्रॉब्लम है.
हाँ इन दिनों में नेटवर्क की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है सर. बारिश वाला सीजन भी है ना थोड़ा सा ये.
हाँ नेटवर्क की आज बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है, इसलिए शायद आवाज नहीं आ रही मेरी.
हाँ. अब आ रही है थोड़ी.
अब आ रही है.
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर. अब बंद हो गई बिल्कुल. चलिए फिर संपर्क करेंगे आपसे.
बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. बहुत शुभकामनाएं.
बहुत धन्यवाद सर. बहुत धन्यवाद.
बहुत
डॉक्टर
शुभकामनाएं. हमारे
हेलो. चलिए बाद में आपसे फिर संपर्क करते हैं. बाद में आवाज बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो रही है सर.
जी. ओके.
डॉक्टर अभिजीत पाटिल जी अवेलेबल हैं?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you very much, sir, for this delicious treat today by Preeti ma'am. And it is a very good initiation by your university that you are conducting this type of webinar series. And you know that most of the times being busy in the academics, it is very difficult